Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on Married at First Sight Season 18, Episode 14. It's titled Lies, Lies, Lies. Let's get started. Okay, so this episode for me was dull. I want to get to the cheateration. That's what I want to get to. Everything else is dull. Let's get started. First up, Carla and Juan. Carla took Juan to her intuitive healer, Leslie. She is hoping that Leslie will help them romantically. So Leslie did a tarot card reading. She told Juan and Carla that they are soulmates. She told Juan that his analytical mind is ruining the romance. She basically told him to put his mind on the back burner and get busy. Juan said, I'll think about it. That's ironic. She's telling him to put his mind on the back burner. Don't think about things. Just do it. And he's like, I'll think about it. Anyway, next scene, Juan and a friend, they go to play soccer. Juan told his friend that Carla is into yoga, crystals, spiritual connection, and he ain't into none of that. His friend told him that it's a fantasy world. Juan said he is not going to live his life based on a bunch of tarot cards. Juan told his friend that he doesn't know what he's going to do on decision day. That's not true. He already knows what he's going to do on decision day. Of course he knows. I mean, Carla has no job. Carla has nowhere to live. He's not attracted to her. Of course he's going to say no on decision day. Come on. Juan, tell that to somebody else. Next up is Camille and Thomas. This couple is so boring. Ugh. They're in the kitchen cooking and they're talking about decision day, and they talk about their lease and where they're going to live. They talk about that they both of them have lease on their apartments and how they're going to live together after decision day. The next scene, they meet up with PC. That's Pastor Cal. And Camille told PC how wonderful they're doing. They then talked about their long-term plans and their living situation. And they both have leases, so the plan is to alternate from one apartment to the next. Like 1 week be at Camille's little tiny apartment, the next week be at Thomas' little tiny apartment. That's how they're going to alternate. But PC, he doesn't like that idea. He tried to talk them into breaking their lease or subletting. But then Thomas said he has a niece who would sublet his apartment. And Camille jumped on that bandwagon. She was like, oh yes, good, thank you for taking care of that. Because now she doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't have to sublet her place, or she doesn't have to break her lease. So she's happy that Thomas is taking the ball on that one. So next scene, they go out to eat fondue, and they're talking about the same damn thing. They're talking about living together and sharing the bills after decision day. And they talk about what plays a factor on saying yes on decision day. And that was it with them. Next up, we have MM and Ikeche. MM met up with Dr. Pia. Dr. Pia asked her, where is Ikeche? MM said she didn't know where Ikeche is. She said they don't communicate and he is not committed to the marriage. So then Ikeche showed up and he gave Dr. Pia a hug and totally ignored MM. He does that all the time. He did it last time when they sat down with PC and Dr. Pia. So Dr. Pia asked him, aren't you going to greet your wife? And he said, yeah, I was going to greet her. I was sitting down. I was about to greet her. Lies. The lies they tell. So he asked her how she doing. She said she doing good. She asked him how he doing. He said he doing good. Dr. Pia asked them why didn't they move in together after they said they would. Ikeche said both him and MM agreed not to move in together, and he said he was too busy to be communicating with MM and he needed some me time. Dr. Pia asked MM if she knew that Ikeche wanted me time. MM said no, he didn't tell me he wanted me time. Ikeche said the reason he did not tell MM that he wanted me time was because he didn't want to hear her throwing it back up in his face saying, y'all, you promised to communicate with me. MM said she did not know what the hell he was talking about. And then they showed a clip of last episode of talking to Ikiche. I think it was last episode, and they was discussing something about the past, and Ikiche shut it down because he didn't want to talk about nothing about the past. And that's what he didn't want to happen. He didn't want her to bring up something about the past. So that's why he claimed he didn't tell her that he was going to take some me time to himself. So they started, Imam and Ikiche, they started going back and forth with each other. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Then she said she tried to diffuse him. He said she amplified the situation. They called each other passive-aggressive. And blah, 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 blah. I'm sick of Ikiche and Imam. Dr. Pia told them that they're both toxic. Dr. Pia asked Ikiche if he wants to be in the marriage. Ikiche said, this is not a marriage. Dr. Pia said, of course it's not a marriage. He said, y'all don't spend time together and y'all don't communicate. You have to spend time together and communicate consistently. That's what married couples do. She said, you guys haven't been doing that. Ikiche told Dr. Pia that he does not want to go any further with the marriage. And then went to the bathroom to cry. Dr. Pia asked Ikiche, what just happened? What do you mean what just happened? She got up, went to the bathroom, and then you hear her sobbing. What are you talking about what just happened? Ikiche said MM got emotional because things are not going the way she wants them to go. So then MM comes back and she made a speech about wanting to make the marriage work and how she learned a lot about herself. She told Ikiche that it was never ever her intent to hurt him. Then Dr. Pia asked them what do they both want. Didn't Ikiche just told her what he wanted? He wanted nothing to do with this marriage. But she asked again, what do you both want? MM said she wants to stay in the marriage and she wants Ikiche to also want to stay in the marriage. So then Ikiche just said, I'll try again. He's just saying that to get Dr. Pia off his back. He said he'll try again with the marriage. So then after they said goodbye to Dr. Pia, they're standing outside and he asked her if she wanted to go across the street to the arcade. And she said yes, and they went to the arcade. Next up, Madison and Alan. We see Alan sleeping on the couch and Madison sneaking back into the apartment. Alan said, the next morning, Alan said she has been going out partying instead of spending time with him. Madison said she was not out partying, she went out to get tacos. Next scene, they meet up with Dr. Pia. Madison told Dr. Pia that her and Alan have bad communication skills and that makes, whenever they communicate, she gets upset. And she doesn't want to be around him, so she leaves home and go out partying with her friends. Alan said he have a problem when she comes home at 3 in the morning. Dr. Pia asked if this happens frequently. And Madison said, yes, I enjoy going out with my friends. Alan said, yes, it happens 3 times a week. They then showed clips of Madison coming into the apartment at 3 different times from 1 o'clock, ranged from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. Madison said it's her lifestyle and that it is what it is. She's a little bitch, isn't she? You are married, heifer. You are married. Dr. Pia asked her if she can stop hanging out with her friends and prioritize her marriage. Madison said she does not want to be around Alan when they're having bad times. See how she blames Alan for her going out and partying? Bitch. She's so full of shit. Because they don't have bad times every day. You're going out 3 times a day. You mean tell me 3 times a day you and Alan are fussing and fighting? Alan said he has nightmares that she is cheating. But he doesn't really think that she's cheating. He just has nightmares of her cheating. Madison said, that's yucky. Madison claimed that she didn't know that Alan was having nightmares. Yes, she did. He told her last episode that he was having nightmares about her going out or seeing some guy. Dr. Pia asked her if she can do something else other than go partying. Madison said, what else can I do? Dr. Pia said, you can stay your ass at home. She didn't say it that way. Those are my words, but basically that's what she said. She said, you can stay your ass at home and watch a movie or find something else to do, but stay home with your husband. Prioritize your husband. So Madison apologized to Alan for being a party girl. And Alan, of course, accepted her apology. Next scene, Madison took Alan shopping because she does not like his clothes. She acts like she's such an amazing dresser. Every time you see her, she's wearing workout clothes. Madison said she wants Alan to look classy, smart, and sophisticated. Anyway, Alan looked good in everything he tried on. He looked good, and you know why Alan looked good in all the outfits he tried on? Because Alan is very attractive. He's very attractive. So next they're in the apartment, and I think he had gotten Invisalign and put him in his mouth because she don't like his teeth. So he's trying to fix his teeth. He's got to fix everything about himself, and she don't have to fix anything about herself. Just go out partying with her damn friends. Anyway, next up, Michelle and Imam, they're hanging out, having drinks, and Michelle told Imam that the photo from David's cousin Denise did not exist. She told Imam that she called Denise, and Denise told her that David asked her to cover for him. Imam said, damn. Michelle said David wants to talk to her and clear the air. Imam asked her, who do you think David was texting? Michelle said she thinks it's Madison. She says she thinks it's Madison because he was with Alan and Madison when he sent the text. And Emma did not look surprised at all. She was like, oh, okay. She didn't look surprised. I'd have been like, what? No, come on. Let's call Madison right now. Let's go for Madison's apartment right now. Let's do something right now. But she was like, oh. Emma was like, oh. She didn't look surprised. She didn't even look like she cared. But Michelle think that Madison is innocent. She think that David is the one pushing up on Madison, because she said she don't think Madison is responding to David's text. MM told Michelle that Ikeche is sending her mixed signals. She told Michelle that Ikeche said he doesn't want the marriage, but yet he took her to the arcade. So what if he took you to the arcade? MM is delusional. Ikeche does not want you, girl. He does not want you. So next, Michelle and David sit down in the apartment. I got blue hair in my mouth. Sit down in their apartment to have a chit-chat. David said he effed up. He said the text message that was sent to her was meant for another female. He told her the name of the female is Tiffany, and him and Tiffany has been talking for about a week. He said that night when he was talking to Tiffany, she sent him a picture of herself, and that's when he said, you look so good, I want to eat you up. Michelle asked him, why should I believe you? Is this the whole truth? David said, that's on you whether you believe me or not. David is so defensive. If you're in the wrong, David, apologize and be humble. Don't get all defensive. Michelle asked him, where do they go from here? David said, we can talk and clear things up before we go to the couple's retreat. Michelle said, so you want me to go to the couple's retreat and pretend that everything is fine and hunky-dory? She then called him a liar. She told him he lied to her. He told her the same lies multiple times. Then he lied to Pastor Cal. She asked him, why didn't he tell her the truth from the jump? He told her because she kept rejecting him and hurting his feelings, and he doesn't feel like this is a real marriage. David said he's embarrassed, but he's a good guy, and he only made one mistake. He told her that he know what her decision will be on decision day anyhow. She told him, well, since you know what my decision is going to be, then leave. Leave and go to Tiffany. He told her, I don't want to be with Tiffany. I want to be here with you to make this marriage work. So David apologized and said he wanted to be with someone who wasn't judging his lifestyle and living arrangements. He told her that even if he were to change his lifestyle and living arrangements, she still wouldn't want anything to do with him. And he said that hurts his feelings. So then they started arguing a little bit back and forth because he's trying to blame her for him texting or sexting this lady, Tiffany, or Madison, or whoever. So later, Michelle told the producer that David stays out until 3 in the morning. Who else stays out till 3 in the morning? David then left the apartment and said he was going to the gym. Who else goes to the gym? Michelle then packed her bag and left, and the producer, they're in the hallway talking to David, and they asked David about this Tiffany person, and he told the producer the exact same story he told Michelle about this Tiffany person. Next, it's the couple's retreat. That house that they went to is a very, 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 very nice house. Beautiful house. Alan and Madison showed up first. Then Michelle and Imam showed up. Michelle told everybody that David fessed up and admitted that the text was for a girl, not his cousin. Michelle told them that if David showed up at the couple's retreat, she was going to get more answers. So David did show up. He greeted everyone. And then it got really awkward. So then Juan and Carla showed up. And Alan prepared dinner while everybody changed clothes. Camille and Thomas, they showed up. They showed up late. They all sat down to eat. Then Ikiche shows up with no luggage. He shows up with a green folder. He did not greet anyone. Alan went up to him and offered him food. He said no. Ikiche then went up to Imem and asked to speak with her. They go into the next room, and he gave her this green folder. And it's divorce papers. But it's only one page with no signature line for her to sign. And it says page 1 of 4. So he's missing 3 pages. And he's missing the page that she needs to put her signature on. So she told him, I will sign the divorce papers when you bring me a legal document. Bring me a legal document and I'll sign it. I'll give you a divorce. So then he left out, looking stupid. So Iman went back into dinner and she told everybody why Ikiche came. And my Alan said, why do it in front of us? Exactly. Why do that? I'll tell you why. Because he's an ass, that's why. Emem said because he wanted to hurt her. Exactly, he wanted to hurt her. He wanted to humiliate her. He's a vindictive little worm. So they all talked about Ikiche's stupid ass for a little bit. Then Juan told them that he has been diving into Carla's world by doing tantric yoga and tarot card reading. Carla told them that she is not going to try to force Juan to give her hugs and kisses anymore because that made him put up a wall. She said she's just going to accept him for who he is. So then Michelle said, bump all that. David wants to talk. Thank you, Michelle, because I don't want to hear nothing else but what's going on with David and Madison, if it's Madison he's cheating with. I don't want to commit to that because they like to make you think something. Producers like to make you think something when it's something totally different. So anyway, David apologized to the group for lying. And then he said he was not getting the attention he needed from his marriage. So now he's blaming Michelle. Again, he's blaming Michelle for him texting or sexting other women. That's a cop-out, David. That's a cop-out. Okay, she was horrible to you, but that's her. She's being horrible to you. If you're not happy, leave the marriage. Tell Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pia you want out and leave. You don't start sexting other women or sleeping with Madison or whatever the hell it is you're doing. That's a cop-out. Thomas jumps in. I don't know what the hell, who put a battery in his damn back. He said, I appreciate you owning up to it, David. And then Michelle had to jump in and cut him off. And said the only reason he owned up to it is because I called his cousin, and his cousin threw him under the bus. That's the only reason he's fessing up to it, because he lied to me for several days. She said she was trying very, very slowly to at the marriage, but now her walls are back up. Michelle said he is trying to blame her for all of this, for him texting other women. Alan asked David if he blames Michelle. David said he doesn't blame her, but, not but. He said he doesn't blame her, but she doesn't even ask him how his day was. He said they don't hold hands and they haven't kissed since the wedding. So Michelle asked Alan and Madison if they have kissed since the wedding, and they both said no, they haven't kissed since the wedding. She asked them if they are reaching out to other women. Alan said no. Madison sat there mum. Her lips were sealed. And then David shut it down. David said, you know what, I don't want to talk about this no more. I don't want to talk about this no more. But Alan wanted to talk. For some reason, Alan wanted to get some stuff off his chest. But then Madison jumped in and she goes, no, I don't want to talk about it either. I don't want us to talk about it. Let's not talk about this. And then all of a sudden, Madison gets upset. She gets up, walks off, and gets the table talking about, I'm going to pack my effing bags and get the F out of here. I don't know what I missed. I missed something. Why is she mad? Why did she walk off? But I know next episode is going to be nice and spicy. That was the end of the episode. This is the end of my review. Thank you so very much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.